Comment.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Before we move to public comment, I'd like to make the notification here that we are missing amendments to the agenda on this roll call. If we could make sure that that is part of the process, the crucial part of the process today.
That's absolutely fine, but the minutes aren't finished up yet because we just had the meeting.
That's why I raised my hand.
Okay. So, all right. Public comment, we'll take John Walters first.
Hello, everybody. I just wrote down a few things kind of out of order here, but just some random thoughts. The previous board started this property tax, and I think it's one of the primary reasons that they were voted out and you guys were voted in. It's the Christmas gift that we got last year that just seems to keep wanting to give every year. I gave you guys the pencil cases with the pencils, but I'm looking at this agenda and I don't see cuts. I don't see wasteful spending getting removed. I don't see, we looked at that first. There's no cuts. This village government just seems to keep bloating. I've seen more hires, I've seen more lists for people to be hired on the website. The referendum that went for this highway department had nothing about the village taking it over, and it was still, my opinion, it was a huge mistake. I know it can't be undone now. Some people are blaming this budget shortfall on the parks that you took over, the 6 new parks, but my understanding is the township only spent about $40,000 to maintain those parks, not millions of dollars. Carrie Frilling told us this tax would be a 1-year tax. Obviously, that was a lie. We kind of all knew it was a lie, but nobody seemed to correct her. Brent Portfolio, every time I go to a township meeting, he opens his mouth, he saves the township money. I suggest you guys sit down with him, have a workshop with Brent Portfolio. The guy knows how to save money. What's the last one here I got? We do not want you to raise taxes on the residents or the businesses. The citizens will not stand for it, and if you do it, we will not forget who you are. This is what I said to the last board, and if this board raises taxes, we will not forget who you are. Thank you.
If I may, with respect to Trustee Fialco's comment, per your rules adopted in ordinance number 08047, which was in August 26th of 2008, your order of business does include approval of amendments to the agenda, and that should follow immediately after the roll call and prior to public comment. So if there is an amendment, if you want to make a motion at this point in time, it would be appropriate.
Yes, sir, I have an amendment. I'd like to move to the top items 8 and 9, and I'd also like to remove item 6.
First, you would move to amend the agenda to remove item 6. That would be the first appropriate motion. Is that your motion?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second that.
Okay.
Roll call on that motion.
And so that I'm clear, item 6 would be removed. Is that the motion? And so the levy that was before the board would not be considered this evening.
There's a second levy ordinance on the agenda as item number 7. They are moving to amend the agenda to remove item number 6. That motion has been made and seconded. There's time for a roll call vote.
Just for clarification, you made the motion. Who seconded it? There was a lot of people.
Trustee Fialco.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Trustee Fialco?
Aye.
Trustee Rodgers?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders?
Aye.
Trustee Consolino?
Aye.
Trustee Pazmino?
Aye.
And Trustee Laha?
Aye.
So the record should reflect then that item number 6, which was the proposed tax levy to levy $3,792,535, has been removed from the agenda. Now, your second motion would be to amend the agenda you don't have to amend the agenda to get to items 8 and 9. They're already on the agenda. If you'd like to just proceed now, there is no need at this point in time for a truth and taxation hearing, because the only other item on the agenda addressing the levy authorizes a levy of $1,500,000, which does not represent any increase in the levy over last year. So you do not need a truth and taxation hearing, since the levy will be exactly the same as it was last year. So that would be item number 5 is not necessary as a truth and taxation hearing, since there will be no tax increase.
So do you need a motion to remove item 5 as well, since
You
there
should
is
do that
no
as well.
5% increase?
Yes.
So then I move to motion to remove item number 5.
I'll second that.
Go ahead, Castellino, got it?
Roll call on that.
Trustee Rodgers?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders?
Aye.
Trustee Cancelino?
Aye.
Trustee Pazmino?
Aye.
Trustee Laha?
Aye.
And Trustee Fialko?
Aye.
And now you can proceed with the remainder of the agenda.
Okay, I just want to make it perfectly clear, because there was a lot of going back and forth. Item 6 removed the option to raise the maximum levy that we refuse to pass.
That is correct. Item 6 was a proposed ordinance to levy $3,792,535. That has been removed from the agenda.
Very
That
good.
was the 100.
Item number 5 was the truth and taxation hearing that would have been required prior to increasing the tax levy, since that proposed increase was more than 5% over last year.
Thank you. I just wanted to make it clear to the public so that they know.
Item
what's
number
going on.
7 is for a tax levy in the exact same amount that was levied last year.
So there's no increase.
There is no increase.
Thank you.
Did you made the motion to remove 5, correct?
So the motion is to remove 5, and
And I seconded it.
It's done. We
It's
voted.
been done. That's both off of the agenda at this
And
point.
it's
Thank you, sir.
voted on.
I had an amendment as well. I'd like to table or remove 8 and 9.
I actually have a motion on the floor first before Trustee Rodgers did.
And your
And that was
motion
to
is,
move 8 and 9 forward.
you can do that, certainly.
And I
had
second
first,
that.
And he seconded it.
There's a motion and a second to move 8 and 9 forward. There's a roll call on those 2 items.
Thank you, sir.
You need a roll call.
I do. Can I make my notes first?
Makes it easy for me. Makes it easy for me.
Trustee Cancelino?
Aye.
Trustee Pazmino?
Aye.
Trustee Laha?
Aye.
Trustee Fialko?
Aye.
Trustee Rodgers?
No.
And Trustee Reinders?
Aye.
And I'll take a no on that, too.
That motion carries. It would now be appropriate for you to make a motion to adopt item number 8, which is to approve ordinance 21-056, an ordinance amending sections 83-45, 83-46, 83-49B, 83-50C,
Gary, yeah,
and
wait,
83-54A3 of the village. I have the floor.
He has the
No, I
floor.
didn't finish up the,
I'm just telling him what is appropriate to do.
Point of order.
Of the Homer Glen Code of Ordinances regarding licensing and regulating video gaming within the Village of Homer Glen, Will County, Illinois. That would be your motion.
Thank you, sir.
Are you making?
So sir, so that the record is clear, is that your motion or is that the trustee's?
You can repeat
That is
that
my
if you would
motion,
like.
sir.
You can repeat that if you would like.
Yes, sir, I would. I would like to move up onto the agenda, item 8, and well, do I have to do it one at a time?
You make a motion to adopt item number 8 as stated on the agenda.
Yes, sir, I make a motion to adopt item number 8.
Wait,
I'll
what happened to
second.
roll call? Shouldn't we go back to roll, I mean, not, sorry, not roll call,
go back to
public
public comment
comment.
first.
Public comment comes before 8 and 9, am I correct?
If he wants to amend the agenda to move it in front of.
In front of public comment.
He certainly can.
That's what I'm
That is-
clarifying
that is
here, 'cause-
appropriate.
So let's move forward.
So you're moving 8 and 9 before the rest of public comment?
That is correct.
Okay, sorry.
I second.
Wait,
That is
didn't we
true.
already vote on this?
There's a motion, you already voted on moving 8 and 9 forward. He has made a motion to adopt item number 8 as stated,
Okay,
and trustee Consolino has made a second to that motion.
Thank you.
Is there discussion or roll call?
You can call the roll.
What is the roll call on right now?
It is
So
number 8 on the agenda.
We are voting on number 8.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Motion to, okay.
Without public comment.
Without public comment or discussion?
It'll come after.
Oh,
Well, there's no discussion after if you approve it, so it's,
Public can still comment on it after it's approved. It's certainly-
and if there's discussion to be had, that it can be had,
You
correct?
can have discussion as well,
Okay.
yes.
but you're voting on it first.
No?
If they want to discuss it, they can.
Right, I was asked to do roll call, so.
If they want to call the roll, they can call the roll. You can call the roll. It's up to the board.
Is there any discussion? I guess usually the mayor.
Well, you know what? Let's go into this. You want to go into discussion, Mayor? Go right ahead. For item number 8.
Okay. All right.
I just, I understand I was out for the last meeting, but my impression was that this special meeting that was called after a lengthy discussion on when and where and times it would take place was the tax levy. So when I opened my mailbox on Friday and saw all of these other items on there, I was surprised. Friday at 5 o'clock. In my own opinion, I have not had enough time to do my due diligence on 8 or 9, considering I got it at 5 o'clock on a Friday before a weekend, and had 7 hours today of a business day on top of working a regular business job. I had no, especially number 8, I didn't have any opportunity to speak to public safety on what their the committee, what their thoughts were on it. I know that there was a lot of, we've voted on this over the past several years, a lot of discussion on this and how the impacts of alcohol would affect it and different things like that. So, basically 7 hours to do due diligence is not fair. And relative to number 9,
Point of order, we're talking about number 8.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Relax.
I'm relaxed. I'm just letting you know.
Gotcha.
That's
that's
the
my
only
opinion.
item on discussion at this point.
That's my thoughts on it. And also, I think it's really unfair to not allow the public to be heard before you take a vote. I've never, ever seen that before. It's disappointing.
And as for me, because no one else seems to be wanting to talk, for us to rechange everything that we've done so much with this village for the gaming, we purposely made it to a 1,500 square foot restaurant where they serve, where they have liquor that you pour, not just bottled up on the wall. And you're just making it to where no one's going to make any money on gaming. I mean, even you, I don't know why you got rid of the gaming, but you got rid of gaming. So if we take it away from the restaurants, because if you're going to do one gas station, they're all going to try to do the gas station. I came out before Lenny ever built that building, told him you will not have a gaming license. I said, you don't understand it unless you do a separate building for it. That's the rules and the regulations. He agreed to it. So there shouldn't be changing of anything on this.
All right, I have a comment. Number 1, we're not taking gaming away from anybody, sir, and you mentioned we're taking gaming away from the restaurants. That's not true. I actually think that this gaming, allowing that gas station to have gaming, I think it's good. I think it's going to bring more revenue, a minimum at $500,000 at the least, and we need the revenue, to be honest. So for us, and also not to mention, there's a station similar to his that's going to open across the street in Lockport, and to give Lockport that advantage and that Lockport business an advantage over ours, I think is a slap in the face to our business that we allowed to do here in Homer Glen. So at that point, unless anybody has anything else, I'd like to call the vote.
I do have something.
Call the vote.
I think we call the
I
vote.
haven't been able to talk
I just want to
yet.
add that I'm not.
I'll second.
saying that
Call the vote.
I'm a
Call the
no
vote.
I haven't been able to talk yet, and I think I should
There's
have
a
that.
point of order to call the roll. The trustee has already had enough.
One person talks, one person.
I believe that the trustee did speak already, and
And you
nobody
said if
else.
they have any other comments.
Okay, well then we're calling
Okay,
the
I've been
vote,
asked
sir.
to call the roll, so I'm just going to call the roll.
I haven't had an opportunity to speak yet.
I don't think
Go
that
ahead.
matters. I think once the roll call is
Is this-
called, that's,
I mean, I don't understand.
Sorry?
I mean, I'm not against this, but I have the
I'm
right to
just gonna-
speak.
For a roll
I'm
call.
trying.
I'm against it either. I'm saying I'd like to do some homework on it.
Trustee Consolino.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Rodgers.
No.
Trustee Pazmino.
Aye.
Trustee Laha.
No.
Trustee Fialko.
Aye.
Mayor Yukich, no.
Since when do we not give each other the opportunity to speak? We should have respect for each other enough to hear each other's opinions.
I just, if,
They called discussion,
you know,
nobody else. said-
I honestly thought all discussion was over, that's why I didn't say anything.
I didn't get the opportunity
I
to
thought
speak.
we all,
No, it's not the next one. It should be everyone gets the
Everyone, yes.
opportunity all the time.
But it did.
I agree with you, but I didn't, for me, I didn't hear it that way. I thought everybody was kind of asked, but I didn't say anything either, so.
I just don't want arguing. I want conversation.
The next item before you is number 9. If you want to consider it at this time, you would have to make a motion to adopt number 9, which per the agenda is to consider approval of ordinance 21-057, an ordinance declaring village-wide hiring, salary, and position reclassification freeze.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Well, again, I'll say what I said before, 7 hours to do the due diligence on freezing 41 families' pay is not enough for me. I did not have an opportunity to speak to any one of the 41 families that this could affect. I got no numbers, no backup, nothing. There's no real relevance as to why we're doing this, as opposed to say, let's just do this and throw a lump of coal in somebody's stocking a week on Christmas. I mean, I don't see the need to rush to do this without, again, doing more due diligence. And just like the other one, I'm not saying I'm against it. Can't make an educated vote without the facts and without the time of talking to people, talking to residents, talking to nearby villages, seeing what they do. It makes, to me, this is just trying to shove as much as you can down the garbage disposal before the end of the year, and it doesn't make any sense to me. And in the bottom of my heart breaks for these 41 people, because we already know what the vote is. It's clear why this stuff gets on the agenda. And my heart breaks for you, and I'm sorry for you, and, you know, hopefully it doesn't affect you too much in the next year.
Well, that's kind of like the way they did it in the last administration. Right before they left office, they shoved in a cul-de-sac. So, I mean, let's not go by that sentiment, because, you know, it's the same thing now. Manager Walsh, was there anybody up for raises or bonuses in this time frame that we're freezing?
Not specifically, no.
Right, so we're not affecting any families right now.
How would I know that?
Excuse me, I have the floor. I have the
Point of
floor.
order.
I have
Wait,
the
wait,
floor.
wait. Point of order.
I
Let him
have the
speak.
floor. One person at a time. The mayor even suggested
Don't
it.
tell me what to do.
Manager Walsh.
I'm a trustee as well. so
Manager
is he.
Walsh.
Stop.
This is ridiculous.
You know, I said this in the last.
I have the
What,
floor.
children here?
I have the floor, sir. I have the floor. I'm asking a
Well,
question.
talking over everyone isn't going to win.
I have the floor. They're talking over me, sir. Thank you. Well, it's just one more
for
meeting
point of
that she's
order.
gone from, because there's been 4. So,
Good night. Merry Christmas.
are we affecting any families, or are there any increases that we are affecting by this freeze, sir?
Not at this time.
Thank you.
Wait,
Nobody knows that. Nobody knows.
He
it.
knows it.
You
He's
can
the
tell
village
future.
manager.
I've got the floor now. Can you tell the future?
We control the future, sir. We make the budgets.
I'll tell you what,
If
this
you
is-
don't make the
if this
budgets,
is
you're
your
in
idea
trouble.
of control,
If you
you're
don't make the
nuts.
budget, you're in trouble, sir. And you know what? I am sick and tired of the people and the residents getting taxed to death.
They're not getting
And you're
taxed to
adding to it, sir. We are fixing it.
I'd like to ask a question.
Like you
Nobody,
fixed all the rest of the stuff.
nobody
Yes, sir,
seems to
we
be
did.
noticing on here.
And what you're talking about childish? Look what you're doing. You're leaving a meeting that you're holding.
You already won't let us do the levy, so.
Instead of-
why do I
We're
need
not
it?
doing the levy. We're not
And
taxing
that
the
levy would have
people.
affected how many people? How many
Excuse me,
families? It would have
board,
affected
please.
every single family in Homer Glen.
Okay.
Not just 41 employees.
Trustee Pazmino, Trustee